Hi guys, so we're back on the ISO builder. It's a machine that we have since November, so that we started with the ISO of November, and you update, and they call that stay rolling. The video I would like to make is we've just released the version of May, right? So the ISO is out there for May, and the topic that I've addressed on the release article is all about this is all Arch Linux, nothing more, nothing less. So whatever you install, in the sense that as long as it's Arch Linux based, of course, right, it is all Arch Linux, and we have some names here, and in the end, and that's what I want to show, in the end, whether I install EndeavourOS, Garuda, Kali, ALCI, Arizer, I come to the look that we have here, right? This is the ALCI, and here, so 7 ISOs with Zen kernels and Xenmod kernels and hardened kernels and LTS kernels. This is with Arizer, so AA, they used to be called AA, with scripts. This is pure Arch, there's no way around it, but it installs differently, and it ends up with this beautiful look, right? Because in the end, it's all about choices. I want that icon, I want LightDM, or I want SDM, and so on. And what I do, and I'll show you, is that I start with an ISO. You choose the ISO, you choose the brand, the distro, right? And then it's up to you. You install the ArcoLinux-nemesis scripts, something similar. Take our scripts, change them, and that's great. My choice in all these Arch Linux based systems here is XFCE and LeftWM. If I have those two, I'll be super happy. And LeftWM is for me 99, let's say 95% of my time I will be on there. And occasionally I'll go to XFCE. So that's the topic of the video. That's the personal view at this point in time, April 2022. Let's first select this thing here. I would like to have XFCE with something. So in this case, I've moved everything already to a different place, to here, and then you start with something. So if you say, I don't want this extra large XL with all these packages, if it's important for you to have an LTS kernel because of parts of hardware that's not working with a normal kernel, you can start with this one. But basically, if you say I want a minimal XFCE, then ArcoLinuxS is good, right? Everything is explained, of course, on the article. If you go to home here, downloads, and then start here, learning path, ArcoLinux editions, it's here that you see what all the differences is, but maybe it's best to just install it. We try to view it in this infographic, but in the end, install and observe. What do we have? Bump number. In the meantime, scripts are working for me. That's how it should be, right? Let the scripts work for you. All these guys, voila. So XL, sorry, XS we're gonna do. XS, fine, no problem, XS. And we're in the correct folder. So this is the one that you can download today. All right, we open it, and as usual, we have choices. If you have an NVIDIA, try out these guys, right? If you don't have an NVIDIA, try out these guys. If none of them works, then try out this one. But on a virtual machine, VirtualBox, VMware, boxes, QEMU, and so on, you choose line number 1. You can start with this graphical thing, which is bias, and there's also a UEFI, which is then black with a few lines. So you know already, I'm booting up with a bias system or with an UEFI system. And you can choose that if you burn your ISO and you put it in your USB you choose. And here's another choice. I've made it already clear in the other video. What's new for 2022 from May, right? Is, guys, use the easy installation. That's always gonna work. I have no problem that you try the advanced installation and it fails, go back, and this will always work, right? This will always work. So this is what I choose on any of my systems, easy installation. And later, voila, later I'll install the ArcoLinux-nemesis. I can be sitting on the beach, I can sitting in the McDo, without wireless, without LAN, it will install. There is no conflict of anything. It's just what I call the beach installation, right? There is nothing needed but a laptop, a USB, and go. This will always work. There are no servers that are down. There are no wirelesses that do not have passwords or whatever, right? So many things, keys that go wrong, Python updates. There is so much that could go wrong if you do an online installation. And that goes for all of us that, yeah, rely on all of these servers that we have zero control over. Starting with your internet connection, with the servers, ArcoLinux servers, ArcoLinux servers, EndeavourOS servers, right? It doesn't matter. It's all about, yeah, connectivity, and if it fails, the connectivity, the calamares will fail. Well, anyway, the installation will fail, or partially. So we just wait, I guess, and pause the video here. This is just the installation. So this is the workflow that I use personally. I'm not imposing anything, but I'm showing you the possibilities. There are no ArcoLinux Bs, not in April, not in May, not in June, and they will come in July. The question is, do we really need them? Start with XFCE and then add BSPWM. You're happy? Fine, great. Because sometimes with these tiling window managers, also like LeftWM, if you write something wrong, if the code is wrong, and it can be a comma or a semicolon or a tab, right? It won't load. The tiling manager will not start. Either it's a black screen, or there's an error, or you just get thrown back to LightDM, thrown back to SRM, and you say to us, I can't log in. That's because the code is not correct. And Qtile or any of the other guys, WM says, don't want to do this. This will not work with this code. So here you go, back to SRM. So all these things are important, but then you have a fallback. Then you have XFCE there, or Mate or anything else, right? But you have another desktop that is coming to the rescue. So that's why the combination for me, XFCE and LeftWM, makes sense, because a lot of the packages that are from XFCE, Thunar for example, are in XFCE basically, and I need them in LeftWM. So there's no overlap, there's no extra, there's just me using elements from XFCE in LeftWM, which is great match already for 5 years, if not longer, prior to ArcoLinux. So yes, I can keep talking, it's incredible, but then I am a teacher, right? We can keep talking. Look at all these applications. So this is not the default XFCE. We've added things like this. This is now here, but it will go away because we're on Calamares, right? This is something from us. So we see more icons, more applications, because we want them to be there. So that's nicely together in an overview. And in LeftWM, I can launch this too. In LeftWM, I have this too. And some of these things will work in LeftWM, right? It is an XFCE thing. voila, I can't keep talking, it's incredible. A whole installation, which is 10 minutes. So that's not much, huh? So boot up, update, of course, the first thing you do. You did an easy installation, which means it's an old collection of packages, which means an update immediately. The other option, advanced, means everything is up to date already. And of course, hopefully nothing is obstructing Pacman, because Pacman is our package manager and there's nothing we can do about it. It's the way to install stuff. And if it conflicts anywhere, if it's halt somewhere, if there's an error somewhere, is the configuration not correct because there's an update, stuff like that, yeah, we don't have control over future installations. That's why we say use easy installation like I've done now, and then later on install your scripts. But before we say yes, that's my advice, scroll up, read, and get to learn the words here, like this one, that's an important one. Update this one. Then we have ArcoLinux stuff. ArcoLinux stuff means often it's written in Scala, etc Scala, which means I need to do a Scala if I want to have the code. And certainly now you can, after clean installation, well, everything is overwritten, and then you go and install more stuff. Celtic mirror list has been updated, so we have the Garuda repo, and in the future we'll add Endeavor repo as well. That's already agreed with Endeavor OS. We have Minstick. This is the application that's burning all our ISOs. Never fails, unless there's a Python update, but never, everything, thousands of ISOs have been written on the USB with that one. Also Linux Mint, prior to Arch Labs, Arch Merge, ArcoLinux. That's our history. Okay, so you read it through, you get to know these names, these packages, you say, oh, that's a shell, ZSH, yeah, okay, fine, cool. SMB client, that's to connect to some other computer. Lots of issues in April, well, lots, right? We had to downgrade, as simple as that, but if you don't know, it's broken, and then, everything's broken. Think about the word downgrade. Should I downgrade? Keys, there we go again, right? Always these keys. Let's try and see if a yes helps. Often it's not. And let's just do it for the exercise instead of Control-C, which means I break everything. And let's do an ArcoLinux keyring thing first. And then update. So that's the tip of the day, right? Keyrings, ArcoLinux keyrings, it's always the same thing. And we have to live with it. It's, if you don't want, change distro, right? Change ArcoLinux. No ArcoLinux, then maybe. But even so, I remember Linux Mint, we're also signing off the repos, I think. It was we had to add something as well there to be able to install Spotify or Dropbox or anything like that. Here we have the AOR available. It's so nice. Thousands, well, 55,000 packages, I think, somewhere near there. All choices to install. One of the things I do, I see here something that comes up. This is installed for you. This is installed for you. I do not have a Realtek and I do not have a Broadcom. So the first thing I can do on my machines, any of my machines, right? I run sudo pacman -r, it stands for remove this one, remove that one. Now either you can type this, which is fun, but next time it's no fun anymore, and you want to script it, and so you write it in a script. It tells you to reboot, sr or sudo reboot. Let's do that. And now, only now, the fun can start. Now there are two ways of doing the next step. Either you say, I have my own GitHub, I've looked at ArcoLinux-nemesis, and I say, cool, I want to have that. So Firefox is not installed. This is a very minimal system indeed. Just quickly letting you look. This is pure XFCE and a few things from us, but there is no internet here. There's no Firefox. There is nothing to browse. And I wanted to browse. So Ctrl-Alt-F says no such file or directory. F12 sudo pacman -s Firefox. It is our intention that this XS and also XS-LTS, the only difference is the kernel, that it's minimal, that you choose what browser, and it's not installed already. Now it's installed. Now I can go to the GitHub. So two approaches. That's the one. You want to have this one, fine, cool. Then you say, I'm going to copy paste this. I'm going to go to here and then open a new window, desktop, fine, open terminal, git clone. That's what you have to type, and then Ctrl-Shift-V, boom. You've got all my code. Now, it's the essential bit in the sentence is my code. It's fine to learn, it's fine to try out, but in the end you don't want my code. You want to copy paste my code and change it. You make an account on GitHub, GitLab, whatever, right? Gitbucket, there are others, and you put it online and you do exactly the same thing. After a clean installation, you get your code and you run it. Now, since this is my distro, my ISO, I built the ISOs, right? I have this get nemesis on ArcoLinux, and there is a get nemesis on Arizer, and there's a get nemesis on Carly, etc., etc. So all my ISOs that we have in the project of ArcoLinux and all the derivatives, ALCI is a derivative, Arizer is a derivative, have this get nemesis thing, and that does exactly the same thing. Because I was tired of doing that all the time, so I just type get nemesis and I have a folder called data and ArcoLinux Nemesis, and you can use that as well if you want, right? It's exactly the same thing. So this is what I do. I install everything, I update everything, and now the work starts. This is not what I want. There is no editor. Whereas Vivaldi is not there, Chromium is not there, GIMP is not there, Inkscape. I mean, this is basic. And then live, we pump in live, we start live with saying, hey, go install this. That's the only thing, and then I can walk away. And then the system takes over, right? Just follow a little bit of code, but you open every single thing and you change everything you want. This is not a laptop. I don't want TLP. TLP is gone. I don't have Broadcom hardware. Gone. I don't have the Realtek thing. Gone. Right? I don't have AMD. Gone. And all these video drivers are gone. I leave this one in. It's for if I am on real metal, then I don't need video VMware. Here it just stays, right? It just does not remove. So it stays because I'm on VirtualBox. I need video VMware and there's a dependency and it stays. Cool. That's good. ATI, don't have it. Gone. Nouveau, don't need it. Gone. VESA, gone. So you think, what is installed on this distro? What do I want to remove? I want to remove HexChat. I never use this. I don't want GIMP. It's there. Sudo pacman -r GIMP or RS. Arch wiki pacman. And have a look at the code. What's on there? The RS. And then I have my own repo. You can make also your own repo. It's all explained on the ArcoLinux University. You can find out, I want to have my own packages, I want to build my own packages, I want to have my own repo, like Eric has, fine. And then I have my own, not this one, but this one, my own icons. Later on, when we reboot, I have my own icons that nobody else has, right? Of course, you can install it, no problem there. But it's unique. I made it myself, and you can do similar projects, what ifs, and say, I'm going to do this and that, and I'm going to put it on my repo, and next time around, when I install it, I'll run a script, do this. So get Nemesis in there, and he's going to install all the things with Edu, Eric Dubois, right? Then I know by the name already, it's coming from my own repo. So the Edus are all here. Then we have here the ArcoLinux repos are already in the pacman.conf. So it checks, hey, is the ArcoLinux repo available in pacman.conf? On ArcoLinux, of course. But on ArcoLinux, it's not. And it will add the ArcoLinux repos. On ALCI, it's not. On EndeavourOS, it's not. On Garuda, it's not. And I will be adding our repos to pacman.conf. Pacman.conf will read it and say, okay, and then on it goes. It installs the Arc themes, the one I like. It's a kind of bluish thing you'll see later. Of course, we are on ArcoLinux, right? So all these things are skipped. But on Garuda, it's not skipped, it's installed. They don't have the ArcoLinux tweak tool. They don't have the ArcoLinux wallpapers, nor the ArcoLinux spam all. So all these things will be installed, and it's a long list, of course. So now we just scroll a little bit. All things that I would like to have are on there. You can put a hashtag in front of it, and it will not be installed. That's my advice. Put the hashtag there. And here we have Dove and Dove bin. Either one will do, right? It's just a different package, different way of building it, but basically no problem there. That's an error, but there is no error basically. And let's scroll down. That happens also on EndeavourOS, I believe, or was it Garuda? It's a choice, right? We have different Doves. And it happens with other applications. Often you have a application Git, application bin, and also just application. I think those are the three most common. So we're installing Qubit torrent. And we just released the ISOs, and we asked you, please could you seed it? You seed with something that can seed, something that has to do with torrents. So Qubit torrent is installed now, and the list will grow, right? This list will grow. Spotify is already there, Simple Screen Recorder, VLC is there. But for example, one of the things I would like to remove, I don't like parole. It's never been my thing. Okay, sudo pacman -r, or you just leave it. In my case, I end up in left WM and I don't see it anyway, right? It's just there. It's a file and I will never launch it. Depends how clean you want to have it. Let's scroll a bit further down the list. Okay, warning. Here we install software for XFCE. So if on, there are reasonings in there. If you are on XFCE, you install this and that even more. If you're on Plasma, you can do this and this. If you're on FI3, you do this and that. So that's maybe something that they say, oh, I would like to have that. If I can make a clause and thinking and in the bash something that says, if you are on Cinnamon, then do this and this and that. It's all there. It's in the script. Read and try it. And here we go inside the personal folder. Have a look at the personal things, what I do with it, because I don't want to do all this every single time, right? I want these bookmarks to be there automatically, not that I have to drag them and in its correct order, because I'm on, well, I see around me 5 computers and they all have to be the same. Otherwise I have to scroll always, where is it again and where did I put it? It's always in the same order. I know exactly where it is because it's the same bookmarks on all the computers. Just ideas, workflow that might make your life Interesting. And this last thing is for Pac-Man. Pamak, I have to say, Pamak. Restart. What's the result of all this work? And you, of course, you do something else with the scripts and you get a different result. Question is, do you want, is rising your thing? Maybe you don't want to do this, but if rising is one thing and next time around you want to have exactly the same thing, yeah, you just save the settings. And next time around it will be the same thing, like this. So this is my standard look, and it will be the standard look on ArcoLinux, Kali, EndeavourOS, ALCI, anything Arch based will eventually look like this. And all that it shows is, all that you can find out. Let me remove this one and open that one. Voila. Ctrl-T, the logo. That's the only thing that and also maybe in this command, that you know what am I on. On ArcoLinux, we'll have the Arch logo, ALCI, Arch logo, EndeavourOS logo, Garuda logo. All right, but in the end, what you see and what you have as applications will be exactly the same thing. Okay, last thing, I have XFCE. What I don't have is LeftWM. Did you notice the name change? So we're gonna call it ArcoLinux Tweak Tool with the idea it's all ArcoLinux. I've made some videos about that, told it about a what's new video. The idea is after 5 years of working, creating so many projects, you come to the conclusion that it's all the same. It's choices, down the road, making choices. So I would like to have, of the ambition is at some point in time, over time, right, give us a few months, years maybe, to make this an ArcoLinux tweak tool rather than an ArcoLinux tweak tool, so that this works on EndeavourOS, that it works on Garuda, that it works on ALCI and Kali, and so on and so on and so on. But it will be a project for a longer period. What I want to have is LeftWM. So LeftWM. And if, and that's a big if there are no packages you've installed that conflict with the packages we want to install now, then LeftWM has been installed. So we don't know what's on your machine. We don't. We will never know what's on your machine. So if there is a package that clashes, and that's pure Pac-Man's job, right? If Pac-Man says, nope, I can't install it, then LeftWM will not be installed. As simple as that. Now this is strange. Why is it not making it big? Maybe because I made it smaller the last time. Let's do that again. Super X, log out. Ah, that's better. It is a virtual box, it's a sandbox. It's not a real thing. It never will be. And Super C. Voila, conky gone. Don't want conkeys, don't need conkeys, don't have the need for conkeys. And here you have LeftWM, and I'm back in business. And that's the point, right, of the video. Grab something, anything, if you like EndeavourOS, great, right? Grab something and then run scripts, do your thing with that distribution. That's what I did prior to all this Arch Labs, Arch Merge, ArcoLinux. I was on Linux Mint. That's basically what I've been doing in Linux Mint for 5 years or maybe more, I don't know. Running scripts afterwards. I didn't like the green look, never liked it. So I want to do something blue, probably my kind of style and look. But it's your style. You make your own style. Choose, well, you can choose to use Arcolinux-nemesis in the scripts, start with it, change it. And this is always in motion. It's always up to date. It's always, always updating, right? So you can see in a month's time, in 2 months' time, in 3 months' time, what did it change? It changed this, it changed that, it changed this. You can follow along what has been happening to my system. So in 2 months time or 3 months time, you do git pull, and the new code comes in, what I've changed. Maybe I'll visit another ArcoLinux distro and say, okay, let's write a script for that one. I've made a tutorial on how to write ArcoLinux-nemesis scripts for Garuda. I've shown you, okay, now we're on Garuda. We take the scripts. What do we want? We want to remove this and this and that. We want to add that and that and that. And voila. And that's the fun, right? Writing, tweaking, but making it simple for next time. Running this and just walking away, drinking a coffee, coming back is nicer than having to type it all over again and all over again. Every single installation. Because in the beginning, face it, in the beginning you'll be installing lots of time because you'll want to learn and you break things and voila. Clean install, 10 minutes later, then you run your scripts, done. You're back in business. That's my advice. All right, cheers.